In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can make a My Projects page with React. And so we're going to have this button. When we click it, it's going to move us down to the projects that you have. I currently only did 2 projects, and we can see that once you hover a project, it's going to play a video. And so this is what you're going to end up with by the end of this project. You can always change the background, and we can see that it works the exact same way, but we just have a different video image, and obviously the name is just going to be project 1 and 2, and the background is a bit different. But before we get started, make sure to like this video if you like it, subscribe so that you don't miss upcoming React videos, comment down below if you get any questions or if you have anything you'd like to say. But now let's get started. I'm going to start by creating my React app in my desktop, and you can create it wherever you want to. Make sure that you open your terminal in the right path though. So let's run the command npx create react app, and I'm going to name it my projects just like this, wait for the installation to be completed. And you can also use Vite for this project or something similar to that. Then you're going to have to upload this to GitHub a bit differently so that you would actually be able to run it. So now it's cd to that folder. I named it my project. There we go, cd there. And I'm going to open it with VS Code. So write code dot, and then now we can see that it's going to open our VS Code. Let's start by removing all the files that we don't need. So let's remove the README. Let's remove all of this. And I don't think I'm going to need the app.css, so I'm going to remove that. And we're going to move everything here other than the favicon and the HTML file. In the HTML file, we can remove all of this stuff that we don't need. And let's change the title here to my project, and the non-script, we don't need that too, so let's remove that. We can close the index.html now. And let's go to our app.js, remove all the unnecessary code in here, so we don't need all of this. Just write app in here to make sure that everything works. And here, let's delete all of this part. And now let's run the command npm start. Wait for it to open, and there are the errors. So let's go ahead and remove the imports that we don't need from our index, and then also from our app. So just like that, we still have an error, so app is not defined. I'm not sure why I deleted the app, but we don't need this import. And now everything should be good. So there is our app from our app.js over here. And now let's actually remove this div. And I'm going to make sections. So we're going to have the first section, which is going to be the title. And then we're going to have the other section where our videos are going to be. And let's actually wrap all of this inside of these brackets right here. And this is what it's going to look like. So if we go back here, let's go to our element. I'm just going to show you what that looks like. So in our root, we can see that we're going to have 2 sections, and we can use these brackets right here instead of writing div. And so having something like this, so we can see that it looks much nicer in our elements here. And let's go ahead and add some IDs so that we can actually add some styles and do other stuff with our sections. I'm going to leave a link to this GitHub repository down below so you can check it out and copy the CSS code, because I don't want to go over that. It's going to take way too long if I do. But you're just going to want to copy this and paste in your CSS class, and you're going to get an error, we can see. And that's because over here where it says background, we don't actually have this file yet, so we're getting an error. And let's set the background color to gray for now. And let's go back and see if that works. So there it is. We can see that we have our projects, this button that will move us down here. And I'm going to go over how we can actually get a nice background, and it's by going to a website. So let's go back here. I'm going to open a new website, and it's called transparenttextures.com. So I'm just going to paste in the link in here, and we can see that we have a bunch of textures here. And let's set the background to gray, so this color, and now we can see all these different textures. So when we click them, we can see that that's what they're going to look like on our page. So you can go ahead and choose whatever texture you want. So let's just say for this example, I'm going to want, maybe I can make this a lot darker. So there we go. So just like that. And now what we're going to do is find the URL. There it is. Copy it, paste it here, and there it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually save this. And so there we go. I saved it over here, and now I'm going to drag and drop that to my project. So public, and there is our texture. I'm going to rename this to background.png. Go back to our index.css class. We can remove this, and let's fix this real quick. So let's change this to go to public background, and there is our texture. So there we go. We can see that's what it's going to look like. And I'm going to set this to black again. So let's do that. And there we go. So this is how you can add your own texture, and you can change the color of it. So I could change it to red if I want to, just like that. We can set this to maybe blue. So there it is. And you can always change the color of the text if you want to. So we can see that everything here works, our button works. But now let's actually go over how we can add our projects and make it work and look nice. But now let's actually make a separate file with all of our data, and I'm going to call it project.js, and you can call it whatever you want. Data.js doesn't really matter, but remember the name. What we're going to do here is we're going to export an array. So I'm going to call that project. It's going to be an array of objects, and in here we're going to have 5 different properties and values, and the first one is going to be the title or the name, and I'm just going to set this to project1. The second one is going to be the image, and for the dummy image, what you're going to want to do is open a new tab here and search this up, so dummyimage.com, and in here you can create your own dummy image, but I've already created mine, and this is going to be the link for it. There it is. You can actually go ahead and copy that. And so now we're going to paste it in our image here. And the next property is going to be the video. I'm just going to call it vid. We're going to set this to blank for now. And in here, we're going to put the video so that when we hover our project, it's going to get larger and we're actually going to see what this project is about. So you're going to actually have to do that on your own. And I'm going to show you the end result of that. So I'm going to go over that later. The next one is going to be the URL of the project. So I'm just going to set this to localhost 3000 for now. And so that's going to be the URL that it's going to open when we click the project. And then the ID, which is just going to be set to 1. So let's add a comma here. And I'm just going to make another one. It's going to be project 2. And ID is also going to be 2. In our app, what we're going to have to do is import this now. So let's go to the very top, right? Import project from project, and let's actually go ahead and console log this to make sure that everything works. So there's our error. I forgot to do that. So there's our error because we have to put this in curly brackets. And now if we go to our console, there is our array. So now let's go ahead and use the map method in our project. So we're going to write project.map, and in here we're going to be getting a project just like this. And for now, let's just return the name of the project. So I'm just going to write project.title to see if that works. And at the very bottom here, there we go. We have project 1 and project 2. And now that that works, let's go ahead and make a separate function for our project. So I'm going to write const project. And here we're going to get props. And let's console log the props to make sure that everything works. So I'm gonna return the console log, and in here we're gonna return our project. There is our console log, and we're not getting it because I forgot to pass it in. So let's go ahead and do that. Project, and now let's close that. So let's reload again, and here's our data, and we're getting 2 console logs for each object because in our index we're using strict mode, so we can remove that from here. And I'm gonna fix this. So now we're going to get 2 console logs, and let's take a look at this warning, which is going to be a key. So let's add a key to our project. So let's write key, project.key. And now we can actually remove the props now that we know that everything works. And now we can get our data from here. So let's go ahead and open our projects.js. I'm going to close this for now and let's see what we have. So in our projects here, we have to get the title. So let's write title. We have to get the image, the video, URL, and let's also get the ID. And now we can actually work on this. So in here, we're going to return an article. So just like that. Fix this real quick. And in this article, we're going to have an h2, which would be the name of our project. So in here, we're just going to write the title. So let's make sure that that works. We can close our console here. When we click our button, we're going to get all of our project. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to add the image, which is going to be the default one. So the source is going to be the image. And so there is our image. We can see it pretty nicely here. But now we actually have to put the image inside of a link so that when we click it, it's going to open our project. So we can see that that's going to work. And here I'm going to put the URL, and let's add a target of blank here so that it's going to open a new tab. So there it is. And so now we're going to move on to how to add the video. So this is going to be probably the most confusing part in here. So make sure you watch and listen. So we're going to make a video element. We can delete the source, and inside of the video we're going to add an actual source and set the source to equal to video. And we're also going to set the type here to equal to video MP4. And here's where the tricky part happens. So what we want is when we hover our image, we want our video to show up, but then when we remove the mouse from the video, we want it to disappear again and show the image. So that means that we're going to have two event listeners. So let's make two different functions. First one is going to be show video, and that's going to be in our image. So let's write on mouse enter, show video, and then we're going to have another one, which is going to be hide video. And this one is going to be on mouse leave inside of our video element here. So on mouse leave, we're going to hide the video. And before we move on, you can go ahead and get a video by going to pexels.com if you don't have a video, and then just downloading a random video here. So here's the video that I got. And once you actually finish this project, you're going to want to open the project that you're going to show here and go full screen. So F11, record stuff about your project, so it should be around 30 seconds. You're going to save it as an MP4 file or convert it if it doesn't save as an MP4 file and put it in your public folder here. Now to show the video, what we're going to have to do is find the article, and to do that we're going to add an ID of title. So let's write title in here. Let's also add a class of project since I have a few styles for that, and I'm also going to add a key of ID. And now if we go down, nothing really changed, but if we actually hover, we can see that they get larger. And in the project here, I'm actually also going to add a margin. So let's write auto 0. And so now we can see that it's going to be spaced vertically, and it's going to look much nicer. Now let's close that, go to our projects, and in here to add the video, what you're going to want to do is write the name of it, just like this, .mp4, and this is going to be project 1. And so in here we're going to select the article like I said before. So let's write document.getElementById. Here we're going to write title, and once we do have the article, in the article we're going to have to select our video. So we're going to write .query selector, and we're going to select it by the element name, so video, and we're going to add a class name of show. So let's see if that's going to work now. So when we hover, there should be a class of show. So there it is. And we can see the videos here, but it's not showing it. And that's because we actually have to add a few properties to our video. So the first one is going to be autoplay. So autoplay. Second one is going to be muted in case there's audio in there, but you can obviously remove that if you want the audio to be there. And we're also going to add loop. And let's actually see what it looks like full screen. So click on this, and now when we hover it, it gets larger and we see a video. But now once we leave, it gets smaller, but the video still plays. So we have to do the exact same thing, but when we leave, so in here where it says hide video, we're going to copy this, paste it here, and then we're going to remove it. So now once we hover, the video plays, and when we remove our cursor from the project, it disappears. And so there it is. Now we can add that to the second project. So copy this, paste it in here, and now both of these projects should have the video. So there it is. And once you're done with actually naming your project, adding the actual images and videos, you can watch my video on how you can upload your React project on GitHub Pages and have it up. So just like my project over here. So we can see that it's up on GitHub Pages, and if I scroll down, we can see that we have all of the projects that I made. And so you can also clean up this code if you want to make it faster and cleaner, but I'm not going to go over that because I don't want to make this video too long, and this project isn't really big enough. But if you do want to do it and don't know how, you can also check out my video on how to do that. So click on the video at the top right. But if not, then this is where I'm going to end this video. So I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, then make sure to leave a like. Subscribe so you don't miss upcoming React videos. Comment down below if you have any questions or if you want to see a specific React video. And hopefully see you in the next video.